Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Spooky Story Sunday. Today we're going to be reading from the state of Colorado and from the website yourghoststories.com, obviously. This story was from 2015. I've noticed I've been forgetting putting the dates on some of the stories. I apologize. I'll try to remember that for the future. This story is by FC_DUB and this story is called A Ghost at Gold Camp Road. So let's begin. Here is my first story. Hope you all enjoy. This is not my first encounter with the paranormal. However, it is my first sighting of an apparition. This story is true, and there are several witnesses that can attest to this happening who were present during what took place. Gold Camp Road is notorious in the Springs, Colorado Springs, for two main reasons. 1. Partying. It is an isolated and mostly unsupervised area, and as such is frequently used as a location for teenagers to drink, smoke pot, and blare music. Number 2. Paranormal activity. There are many stories regarding the area ranging from the infamous bus crash, which never actually did happen, and apparitions, as well as mildly demonic or malevolent activity. There's a history of car crashes and murders, as well as people dropping off murdered bodies over the cliff into the Cheyenne Canyon area below. Taking this into consideration, many people come out of skeptical interest and curiosity of the unknown to see if the tales are true. It was a normal Friday night, and I was with my friend Jay. I'll call him that for the story as I don't want to release his personal info on the web out of respect. We were bored out of our minds, and after the hookah we set up had died, we needed something to do. We wanted to go to a party, but realized we both lacked the hookups to get an address. I know, we're lame. And so we thought of places we could come across a get-together. Gold Camp was brought up, and soon after I drove us up there. We came to a pull-off before one of the tunnels that overlooked the city and parked next to some of the cars that were loudly blasting music. Some college-age kids were drinking beers, smoking, and generally chilling, and we were quickly invited to join them. A little after midnight, the music was turned down, and everyone was either in the cars or outside in a huddled group talking about life and joking around. I was in the middle of a conversation when I heard what sounded like the faint clicking of metal chains and sort of dragging sound. As it got louder, I decided to investigate the source. The sound grew louder, near a sign by the edge of the road. As I peered over the edge, I took note that it was a cliff and would be impossible to get down without serious injury, so the fact that a sound was rising up was astonishing to me. My thoughts jumped to who would be down there and how did they get there? And even more worryingly, did someone fall down and need help? Before I could say anything, a large and dark figure arose from the edge, a mere 10 feet away from me. It appeared to be a tall man, like 6'5", shrouded in a white, tattered cloak or sheet wrapped in chains. At first I thought it was a guy trying to scare us and prank us, because I knew of the tales of the area, but one thing stuck to me as odd that made me keep a serious complexion. The man had no face. In addition to not having a face, I thought he was black at first, but soon realized his body was composed of what appeared to be a shadowy mist. He looked like someone had wrapped his body in a sheet and wrapped chains around it before throwing it down the hill, and downwind from this figure was such a terrible stench like sweat and mild decay, I couldn't even believe my eyes. The figure began slowly trudging towards the road, dragging chains behind him with each footstep, making a loud thud, as if he was wearing boots. The group outside I had left to investigate went silent, and we all watched the apparition in fascination and bewilderment as it slowly walked along the road, not looking back. I made sure everyone else was seeing what I saw, and summoned the courage to follow the apparition with the intent to see if it was really what it appeared to be, and not some guy dressed up just being dramatic. He walked slowly, but his strides were huge, so I had to walk quickly to keep up with his pace. I followed him for about 30 feet when he suddenly stopped. He slowly turned towards the edge of the road with the cliff, but there were bushes and trees at the stretch of the road for about 10 feet before the edge. I loudly said, "Hello," trying to communicate with the strange man, and he took 2 steps into the bushes and disappeared into thin air in a cloud of mist. Just like that. Gone. I walked back and told the others what I had seen. They could hardly believe it. We all talked for another half hour about what we had seen before parting our ways. All in all, it was an interesting night, and despite the others' sobriety rendering them less credible, I was completely sober since I was driving and saw it clear as day. I have yet to witness another apparition as clear and as real as the one I saw that night, but it definitely got me further interested in the paranormal, and I will always remember the man with the chains. My only wish was that I could have learned more about the apparition and its story, but perhaps I'll see it again when I decide to go back up there. The end. Alright, well that was a unique, interesting story. I'm surprised she wasn't a little bit more scared, especially like following him by herself, but I could see why she wouldn't be scared is because, like she said, like she probably in the back of her head thought it was like some prankster just kind of, you know, dressing up trying to scare people. Like I could see that definitely happening. This place, I just keep thinking about this one place I went to back in high school with a friend. We tried going ghost hunting there. It's called Builder's Rocks in Pennsylvania, and I've heard many stories about, like, you know, people like, because there's like a miniature like cliff and like a bunch like those huge rocks people have climbed, and there used to be like teenagers, I don't know about, I doubt now, but like back in the day teenagers used to party there, and I've heard of stories where people have died because they've gotten drunk, fallen off the rocks, hit their head off the like edges of the cliff of the rocks, and it reminds me of that place. Like that's what I'm thinking about, and it's funny because like we think that place is haunted too, and it's kind of creepy. Maybe in the future I'll take you guys to Builder's Rocks and we'll kind of investigate, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it, but that's what the story reminded me of. Tell me what you guys think about the story. I think it was kind of creepy. I would actually like to go there. I know it's all the way in Colorado. I'm in Pennsylvania. But I would actually like to go there and see if I could see, like, that figure that was tied up in chains. Like, that is so weird. Like, I'm like, picturing, like, the Grim Reaper with just, like, chains all around him for some reason. I don't know. So, yeah, definitely comment and let me know what you guys think about the story. Also, like up this video and subscribe and hit the bell for more notifications. And I will see you guys next time for more spooky stories. Alright, bye.